Hey everybody, welcome to Tilted Top 5, Tilted Top's top 5 ranking show where we rank our top 5 in different categories depending on the movie. And on this episode, we are ranking our top 5 theories and predictions for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And the way that this works is I got Jose on this way and I got Mario on this way. And we are going to start with number 5. My camera's over here. Number 5. Give our 5 prediction and then work our way down the list till we get to number 1. And it's pretty simple. Just our thoughts and theories and predictions, okay? So I'll start first. My number 5 is actually Anna helped me with this one. And we both agree that Wanda will not be the main villain in the movie. We think that there's going to be it's kind of leading you on that path that she's going to be.
So like a swerve.
Yeah. There's going to be like a twist, or there's going to be a turn at some point where like some bigger bad is introduced and they're, team up type thing. Do you guys have any thoughts or comments on that idea?
I think that's plausible, because just the way how some of the Marvel movies have kind of led you to believe a certain way, and then they just swerve on you. Skirt. So yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah, I totally agree that Wanda's definitely not going to be the main villain. She might start off that way, but in the end, she'll help try to fix the multiverse.
Yeah, I really feel like the marketing at least has been... I've been trying to stay away from a lot of it, but I really feel like it's leaning that way very heavily, that she is going to be the villain, but we'll see. Okay, let's go to Jose. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is... since it's dealing with the multiverse, at the end of the movie, it's going to be like so one of the Doctor Strange is going to be swapped out. So one of them's probably going to die, and then another one's going to take its place. So we're not going to have the original Doctor Strange.
You think the original Doctor Strange is going to die and we're going to have a different multiverse?
Either he's going to die or he's going to be swapped. Somehow he's going to be exchanged. So it's because just watching the What If series and how many other dimensions there is, it just feels like they're going to be intertwining and overlapping. So at some point, I feel like one of the Doctor Strange doesn't like his universe or his reality, and so might take or there's going to be some sort of sacrificial exchange, something like that, where they swap places for the betterment of like someone's path, I guess, future path.
I don't agree with it. I don't think they're going to swap out Doctor Strange. They might kill him off. That's definitely a possibility, but I don't think they'll swap him.
Yeah. So was your whole theory like they're going to just straight up kill our Doctor Strange and a different Doctor Strange is going to take over?
I don't think they will straight up kill him, but I feel like they might. Well, one of my theories is that they will probably swap them out, like either by entrapment or like it'll be one of those decisions that they'll have to make. I think.
Okay.
Kind of like a negotiation.
Mario, you're number 5.
I think we're definitely going to get an Iron Man cameo in this movie.
Now. Do you want to elaborate a little bit?
Robert Downey Jr. cameo, maybe in the Illuminati, or maybe just a quick some sort of cameo. Maybe we see him in a different universe or something.
And you think it's going to be Robert Downey Jr., not a different actor or anything like that?
No, I think it'll be him.
Jose, thoughts?
I think he's done. I don't. Maybe they'll show Iron Man. but I don't think you'll see Robert Downey Jr. I think you'll just see the suit somehow.
So, which trailer did you watch, Mario?
Just the newest one.
I don't know if I've watched the newest one, but I know there is speculation that there's going to be some sort of Iron Man kind of guy within the movie. Because
Iron Man's a part of the Illuminati, and that's already confirmed in the movie.
Yeah, that, and there's a shot in the trailer where you basically see like Iron Man. What are they called? It's like his Ultron type.
Yeah, it's like silver
army,
blue form.
Yeah, it's little, like army guys.
Yeah,
like bringing Doctor Strange.
The Ultra. Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I think we're definitely going to see a version. We might not see Robert Downey Jr.'s face, but I think we'll definitely get his voice. Okay. Like we might get his voice coming from a suit.
Okay.
That's I think that's more likely to happen.
Okay. Number 4. Mario, you go.
I think they're also going to introduce mutants into this. It's been a long time coming, and this is definitely the time to do it with the multiverses colliding.
So when you say introduce, like on what scale do you think they're going to really introduce them? Do you think they're going to be like, mutants are here? Here they are. Like, I mean, like, because you hear Professor X in the trailer.
Yeah. I don't know if they're maybe when they put the multiverse back together or something, there's like some cosmic radiation that activates the mutant gene. And then, that's where the mutant they all start popping up everywhere.
Okay. I'm going to backpack on this one a little bit because my number 4 is connected to that a little bit, but my number 4 is they won't introduce the X-Men. I could see them introducing the concept of mutants, and we're obviously getting Professor X, but I don't think we're going to be getting like Cyclops and Wolverine and those kind of characters introduced into this movie at all.
Yeah.
I'm really skeptical on like the Professor X, I hear his voice. You see like a bald head, but again, the trailer I don't know. I always feel like they're kind of, they give you like hooked, but it's probably not going to be the truth, So I don't, on the whole mutant things.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen enough like mutants or like even a hint of mutants on the trailer. I mean, we all know that Scarlet Witch, supposedly according to the comics, she's a mutant, but I don't know. I feel like that's another swerve. I think we're theorizing too much on that one.
Well,
that's the whole point of this. We're theorizing.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But in WandaVision, we found out that she had powers before the Infinity Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Where before that, we were led to believe she only got her powers from the Infinity Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, that could tie into maybe mutants are already here.
So as part of your prediction, Mario, do you think that they're going to like clearly define that mutants are a thing? Do you think they'll use the word mutants and stuff?
They're either going to use the word. I don't. Do they have the rights to the mutants now?
They
right?
do now. Yeah,
Yeah,
on Fox. Yeah.
I think they'll either say it or like highly,
like further than Professor X. Like,
yeah,
it'll be like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jose, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is they're gonna hint that Spider-Man is still around. He might I'm theorizing that they might either show a little brief of him or mention him briefly. Like they still, because in the like No Way Home, everybody forgets who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that they'll probably have like some cookie crumbs related to that. Like, we still kind of know that we can remember Spider-Man, something like that.
So Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be mentioned at least in some fashion.
Exactly.
But everyone forgot him.
Yeah, but like I said, it'll be like some crumbs that will kind of hint that there's some remnants of him, and related to future installments, or at least like a cameo somehow.
So I don't know. Sorry, how spoilery do we want to go with this?
Well, it's theories and speculations, right?
Everything up to this point. We could talk about anything up to this point.
Because wasn't there? I never watched it, but isn't there an end credit scene for Morbius that kind of like ruins Spider-Man in this universe?
I know the end credit scene. I didn't watch the movie.
I watched the movie.
I don't know how much it ruins it. Basically, it kind of like complicates things a bit, I would say.
I would just probably just somehow just ignore that. I think it's probably it could be a throwaway, to be honest.
I think that
Morbius, yeah.
I think Tom Holland Spider-Man is definitely still part of the MCU. I don't see them making, with how fresh that is, I don't see them making any reference or anything to the MCU Spider-Man specifically. If anything, I think that there's a greater chance that we could get a different Spider-Man or something. But yeah, I'm not so sure about Tom Holland. Okay, Jose.
Just the way it like No Way Home ended, I was like, because Doctor Strange was in No Way Home, right? And he's the one with the spell and everything. So I just kind of wanted to piggyback off of that, or at least.
Yeah, but that spell. The only reason that spell worked, though, is because everyone forgot him in every universe, everywhere. Even Doctor Strange forgot him.
Yeah, there's people that try to read into this spell, be like, well, he said everybody on Earth, so that means if somebody's off Earth, they could potentially remember him. But we don't know those details at all yet, if that's a thing. So we don't know if it's everybody in every universe or just people that were specifically on Earth or... So, okay, Jose, you got that one. Spider-Man Tom Holland will be mentioned and or cameoed in the movie. You think he's going to be, you think there's a chance that he could actually cameo?
Very, very unlikely.
Okay.
But I'm hoping for it.
Okay, Jose, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is they're going to bring in new characters. Whether it's mutants or just new characters that we haven't heard from. Maybe Moonlight. I haven't seen the series, but I think it's a perfect, since it's dealing with a lot of multiverses. I think there's the vast amount of characters that there is. I think that it might be a good way to introduce some new ones that maybe the general public like myself don't know about.
Okay. I know that, like, when you say introduce new characters, do you mean like many new like people that are going to be part of the MCU for years to come?
Yeah, or for future installments, like part of phase 4 that we're in, or?
Yeah. And you're also talking about like people like outside of people that we already know of, because we already know of new characters that are being introduced in this movie. So aside from the ones that we already know that are coming in, I think there's possibility that there might be some new characters. That we don't know. That's a pretty vague prediction, because I was hoping for kind of more specifics of particular characters or something. I'm
not good with comics, so I know there's like a vast array, and that's as far as I know.
Okay, so Jose's weak ass third prediction.
Maybe I should have been my 5th.
Introducing new characters.
Well, it could be, like I said, it could be like some that the general public doesn't know, or it could be X-Men too,
Okay. Number 3, a major character will die, and I believe that the strongest candidate for that character is Wong.
Ooh. You consider Wong a major character? I guess he is the Emperor Supreme, right?
Yeah, and he was, I think he's going to have a big role in this movie. And he had a pretty decent role. I mean, not a huge role, but I mean, he was in Spider-Man. He was in Shang-Chi with small roles, but...
Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's training Abomination.
Yeah. So I kind of go back and forth a little bit. I do think a major character will die. I'm not necessarily guaranteeing it'll be Wong, but that's who I'm kind of leaning towards right now.
It's Doctor Strange, like I theorized. Well, I didn't say completely die, but...
You kind of made it sound like you thought he was going to die, but then you kind of backtracked on that a little bit.
Yeah, well... Yeah, because I don't think I think that he'll still be around, but... Because isn't he, like in the previous movies, like... He's the strongest of them all, according to the Ancient One, or whatever the lady's name was.
Well,
so
that's... Okay, Mario, what's your number 3?
I don't have one.
Yes!
My theory look weak now?
No, because your theory is there's going to be characters in the movie, so... I mean...
You unknown, you're forgetting that unknown character.
Well, I guess let me rephrase mine. I think the multiverse is going to lead into how Miss Marvel gets her powers.
Okay, so you think that they're going to explain that in this movie?
Yeah, because the show comes out, what, a week or two after this drops? Something like that?
Like a month, but pretty shortly after, yeah.
Yeah.
Beginning of June.
Because Miss Marvel's power have to do with like planar shifting and kind of multiverse type powers. So I think whatever happens in this is going to either introduce her or, you know, give her the ability or whatever.
Okay, so basically, to boil it down, her powers are going to be explained in some fashion by this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the events are going to lead to how she got her powers.
Okay. Jose, thoughts?
So I don't know much about America Chavez.
Let's talk about Miss Marvel.
Oh, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I don't. Maybe it's she Miss Marvel will have some sort of like intro, like kind of like what Black Panther did in Civil War, you know, where she just gets dropped in and then.
I don't think Miss Marvel is going to be in this movie. I think that you might get an explanation of how her powers can work, but I think that she's just going to be fully introduced in her TV show and stuff. Personally, okay. But I think something that Mara's kind of talking about is like her powers
will
be explained by this movie, basically.
Okay.
But I could latch onto that. All right, Mario, what's your number 2?
So this leads back to your number 3, where you think someone will die.
Yes.
I think Wanda's going to sacrifice herself to keep the kids alive.
Oh, you think we lose? So Wanda's going to die, and in her death will allow her kids to live.
Yeah, some sort of like that. Like maybe she, you know, sacrifices herself to bring the multiverses together, where her kids are alive in it.
I kind of like that. What do you think, Jose?
I think that she might die, but I don't think it's going to be for her kids.
You don't think it's going to be for her kids?
Probably not. But I think her kids will make an appearance, but I don't think that's going to be the main reason why she dies or why she might die.
Well, we know they're setting up the Young Avengers, and her kids are part of the Young Avengers.
Oh. It's plausible.
Yeah. Tic-tac-toe, Jose. Tic-tac-toe.
Because America Chavez is in the Young Avengers.
Oh, you're right.
And then they forgot who else was in it, but I know there's other characters they're setting up for it.
Titans.
You know, yeah, same universe.
I know.
I can't. It'll be bold if they kill off Scarlet Witch. I could see kind of their whole story kind of ending happy after this movie, but I could also see what you're saying too, her sacrificing herself in some fashion.
You think well, building off of that, I'm kind of just because we're talking about Scarlet Witch. Do you think the new Vision's going to be in this one? You know how, like in WandaVision, like that.
Well, hang on. That was your number 2, right, Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like me and you have the same number 1.
My number 2 is White Vision. Is in this movie.
That's my number 1.
Okay. Spoiler alert for Mario's number 1.
Well.
Well, you said bring it up if it's. Oh, but you said number 1, not 2.
Yeah, it's the same number.
It's all good. Okay.
I guess we can circle back around that one, but
Scarlet. Okay, so Mario's 2 is Scarlet Witch. My number 2, yeah, White Vision. I definitely think that he's going to play a role in this movie, and a role having to do with, obviously, I don't know if it'll be the kind of the catalyst for bringing Wanda kind of back down to earth, so to speak, or exactly in what capacity, but it's obviously going to have to do with whether he's fighting Wanda or he's going to be saving her in some fashion.
Yeah. So coming back to my point, I almost put White Vision will sacrifice himself for the kids, but there's no way they kill him 3 times. There's no way they kill Vision 3 times.
You never know. So, yeah, that's a funny way to segue that, because I was just thinking about White Vision.
What's your number 2, Jose?
So I feel like it might actually tie into your guys' White Vision. But I do actually, my second theory is Wanda is the villain. But again, since it's dealing with the multiverse, I don't think it's this current. It's going to be one of the Wandas from one of the multiverse that is the villain. Because just based on the trailer, you see 2 Wandas. I think that maybe I'm recalling that wrong.
Well, in the trailer, there's at least
2 Wandas.
There's at least 3 Wandas in the trailer.
Okay. Yeah, so I think one of those Wandas is going to be the main villain, and I think this is where, like Sean said, or this is where White Vision is going to bring her down or kind of calm her down somehow.
So you don't. So,
but I do. My theory is Wanda, Wanda's going to be a villain,
but not
one of the Wanda,
but not not MCU Wanda.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know where they're going to go with all the variants of all these characters. Like how big of a role they're going to play, or if we're going to just get kind of quick glimpses of them, or.
Well, how long is this movie? Like almost 2 hours?
It's not that long. Yeah, it's like a little over. Yeah, it's like 2 hours long. So I mean, which is a good length.
I would expect a movie like this would be like 2.5, possibly 3 hours, since it does deal with the multiverse.
Well, I'm sure they're just
gonna. There's a lot of subject.
I'm sure how they're gonna deal with the multiverse is they're just gonna like do a quick 5-minute sequence where they're running through a bunch of universes.
Yeah, just based on the.
And then at the end of that, just like everyone's just gonna be in the one universe. The main universe.
Okay. I think I agree with you on the first part, just based on the runtime of the movie. Is there? It might feel like they're skimming through a lot of the multiverses. That's how I see it. Because if it were a longer movie, then I think we would have more material. But I don't know.
Okay. Mario, your number 1 was White Vision, you said. Was there any more was it any different than what I was basically saying, or did you kind of hit those points already?
I mean, I really just put White Vision returns. I don't know in what capacity he's going to be. Your theory sounds like it could go that way, where he just helps Wanda come back to Earth because she's kind of
on her mission.
Yeah, she's kind of in that dark place with the dark hold or whatever it's called. So
Does White Vision bring her back to the light?
Now is White? I can't remember at the end of Wanda. So White Vision gets his memories back, but he's still white, right? He didn't change his color.
He's white. He's White Vision. Okay.
Yeah.
And like he has all of his memories up, and like he doesn't have Visions in the bubble memories. He has all the memories up to the bubble. Right?
But isn't that everything?
But he doesn't have like that family life that Vision shared with Wanda in the bubble with the kids and stuff. Okay. So
that's number one.
Jose? What is your number one?
So my number one is what's his name?
Good start.
Oh my gosh, forgot his name. The black guy from the first Doctor Strange.
The like second in command sorcerer.
Yeah, the one that says like the
one that trained Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's gonna be the ultimate villain, or somehow be pulling the strings. He'll be like the villain behind the scenes.
I don't think he's gonna be a villain. He's kind of like the Illuminati's like bodyguard / henchman, if you would say, but
Mordo.
Yeah. Is that his name, Mordo? Because in the like at the end of the first Doctor Strange, he gets the other wizard, right, and he takes his power. He's like, "There's too many wizards," or something like that.
So let's clear this up a little bit, because you kind of contradicted yourself with your 2 and 1. Because your 2 was Wanda's going to be the main villain, and then your second one was Mordo's going to be the main villain. Or your number one.
That's true. Well, he's going to be another, I guess. How do I put it?
He's just going to be
a side villain.
Okay.
Like a side villain, I guess. You know how like in a video game you battle the boss and then you battle the bigger boss, something like that. So something like that.
Okay.
I think he will play like a manipulator kind of villain.
I think that I kind of lean a little bit with Mario on this one. I don't think that he's going to be a villain. I think that he's going to just kind of be along for part of the ride in this movie. Like, I don't think he's going to really have a significant role, but...
Okay.
I mean, well, it depends whose view you come from. Because, like, if you come from Doctor Strange, I think he's going to be against Doctor Strange. But I don't think he's not, like, as an overall plot, he's not a villain. He's just trying to, like, fix the multiverse type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. You guys.
Well, it's just like I think we're so focused on the what we see on the trailer that I think we kind of bypass him or overlook his character in this trailer, and so that's why it makes me believe, like, again, they're trying to throw us off a little bit off the scent. And so I'm just basing this off of how the first Doctor Strange ended.
Okay.
And how, like, he does make an appearance in the trailer for this one, but we're so focused on like the multiverse and all these other things that I think he's kind of overlooked, and he might actually play a bigger role.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And now I think it's time for my number one.
All right.
I must say, I'm a little surprised that we don't have a little bit more stuff about. I think Mario kind of talked about the Illuminati a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And with his Iron Man prediction. Here's my prediction. Some news came out today that John Watts is no longer directing the Fantastic Four movie. Sounds like they're like, what they say is he needs a break, but they're planning, they want to work together on future movies. So I saw online personality that John Campia, that me and you watch, Jose, he tweeted a theory that I was like, I like that theory, and I'm going to use it for this. My number one is we are introduced to Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, as part of the Illuminati. He's one of the members of the Illuminati. And that will be John Krasinski. And I'm going on top of this, outside of this movie, he will be directing the Fantastic Four movie.
John Krasinski's gonna be.
Yeah, that's my number one. Is that?
I think I remember listening to that. I don't.
Well, there's been a lot of fan casting, fan theories about because saying that he'd be perfect for the role and stuff like that.
Well, didn't he say he wanted to do it?
I think at one point he did, yeah. And I think it's going to happen. And I think he's going to be, on top of him being introduced in this movie, I don't think he's going to have a big role by any stretch. He might be in it for 5 minutes, if that. But he's going to be introduced in this movie. And then after this movie comes out, it's going to be announced that he will also be directing the Fantastic Four movie. Any thoughts on that at all? Or do you guys think I'm stupid?
No.
Or do you think that sounds like
far-fetched?
I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's definitely a possibility, but
it is a possibility, but I think it's kind of a stretch. I want to say it's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, I see. Are you doing that on purpose, Jose? It's kind of a stretch.
A stretch. I wasn't thinking of that, but no pun intended.
Well, I mean, we know the Fantastic Four movie's happening, and it's happening sooner than later. So they're going to be introducing the characters at some point.
When did the last Fantastic movie come out?
Like 2016 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man,
the question:
doesn't feel like that long ago.
Is Killmonger going to be the Human Torch again?
It could be Chris Evans.
That's true, but I don't know. I think it's going to be hard.
Because
that intrigues me. That intrigues me.
Reed Richards, he's a member of the Illuminati, isn't he?
Yeah. But this could be a different Illuminati too.
Well, yeah, the MCU does different things, but I mean, like I said, this movie I think it's scheduled to come out in 2024.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know.
Do you think any of the past Marvel characters are going to come in, like Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy and all
of the MCU characters?
Yeah.
So just okay. Now we'll just run over some random
things.
Well, Thor and them are off planet. They're out somewhere in space.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see any of those characters, especially with the Thor movie coming up.
No, I'm curious about. So the one of the things that I kind of been like thinking about a lot lately is like we've seen the trailer for, or at least you and I have seen the trailers for Thor Love. What is it called? Love and Thunder. Yeah. And they have what's her name, Natalie Portman as She-Thor, right? Or I don't remember what they call her.
Yeah.
But is it possible that she's from another universe that got transported? You know, because we're going back to also Morbius, where what's his name, Vulture, appears at the end credit.
I don't think it's going to be anything like that.
I don't think so either. I think they're just going to. I mean, I don't know if we want to get into Love and Thunder, but
I've thought that, yeah, we could speculate about Love and Thunder later. But as far as those, I think that, I don't know. I just don't see there being room for those characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just universes overlapping.
I think the events of this movie will have consequences for future movies. But as far as those characters specifically showing up in this movie, I wouldn't bet on it personally. I think we're going to get more oddball stuff. Like I could see like them jumping through universe, like them jumping through different universes, and like seeing like the 2000s versions of the Fantastic Four fighting or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we might get weird off the wall stuff like that before we get like Thor in this movie or something.
Okay.
We might get Loki, since Loki was kind of the start of the multiverse. Especially if you think we're going to see Kang.
I think Kang's more likely than anybody we've talked about so far in this little talk that we're having right now.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Kang at some point was a part of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
And got kicked out or something.
So who's all in the Illuminati? Who's all going to be in this Illuminati?
So I don't know anything about Illuminati. So that's your guys's.
We know.
So there's Reed Richards, Iron Man, Professor X. And those are the big three. I know there's like two more, I think.
So
do we think in this movie, do we think that there's going to be we know there's a Professor X.
Yeah.
We know that I guess we don't really know much more after that, but there has to be an Iron Man, right?
Yeah. Of some sort.
Is there a Doctor Strange variant?
What do you mean? In the Illuminati?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Doctor Strange was ever in the Illuminati.
Sometimes they change things up for the MCU, but okay. So do you think there could be like a Doctor Strange character like in that world, like how you're kind of talking about Mordo earlier?
I think Mordo, I don't know if he's specifically going to be a part. Like, I don't think he's going to be one of the top Illuminatis, but he's going to be kind of like their henchman type person, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now, what do you guys think about the speculation of there being a different actor playing Iron Man? A la,
what's the rumor? Tom Cruise, right?
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Do you buy into that at all?
I don't.
I highly doubt it would happen, but if it does, I don't know. I'm torn if it would be amazing or not.
Yeah, I don't think so. And if it is, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, a big thing that fuels that speculation is just the fact that he was the original choice to play Iron Man. But yeah, there are the Ultron bots in this movie, so there's some sort of Iron Man thing going on here. And
maybe they switch it up and it's what's her name? Rescue. Tony Stark's wife. What's her name? Pepper Potts.
Oh, Pepper Potts.
Oh, yeah.
Rescue.
Or it could be his daughter, because his daughter takes over Iron Man at some point.
Okay, so you think it, because one of your predictions was that Robert Downey Jr. is straight up in this movie, but outside of that, you think it could just be somebody kind of connected to him that we just have no idea who it is?
Well, I know because his daughter takes over at some point, and I think they're doing an animated show, and Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be like her Jarvis.
Oh, really? I don't think I've heard it. Is that the Ironheart show?
I don't remember. This was also a couple years ago, so maybe that idea got scrapped.
Okay.
But I know his daughter's supposed to take over at some point. So maybe it's like her from the future or something.
How many Illuminati members are there?
I think there's 5.
I was gonna say, isn't there 5? I don't know much about them.
And I think one of them was Kang, and he got kicked out.
I might have to do some research after this.
Well, it should be interesting.
I gotta educate myself on the Illuminati, because I don't know much about.
How does this movie end, Jose?
How does this movie end?
Yeah, how does this movie end?
On a cliffhanger.
With those characters they introduced.
Exactly.
A cliffhanger with the characters they introduce.
Yeah.
Classic Jose.
With Deadpool, like saying that that's all, folks.
Deadpool's not going to be in this movie.
I really don't know how. I to be honest, I don't know what to expect, because it could go, to me, it could go just anywhere. Like, but yeah, I just don't know how it's gonna end. And that, I think that's the main thing why I just want to watch it, because I want to see what's gonna develop after this, like how it's gonna end.
You think? So they just said they had a CinemaCon the other day, and I guess Kevin Feige was like, this movie's gonna just open everything up even bigger than we've ever seen before. And they already have the roadmap for the next 10 years out. So
dang. See, this is what Sony and WB need to be, or Warner Bros. Need to do.
I can't even get
started. Map it out.
I don't even want to go down that road right now. Yeah.
Oh, you know how it's gonna end? You know how it's gonna end?
Okay, tell me.
DC versus Marvel.
Okay, on that note, do you have any last thoughts?
I'm Batman.
I mean, you want me to put in how I think it's going to end?
Sure. Yeah.
I think we're going to go to that Wanda thing where she sacrifices herself to bring. She's going to like compress universes, so there'll still be a multiverse. It's going to be a lot smaller than like Infinite. So it's going to compress a bunch of universes into each other, and that's how we're going to get the new superheroes and the mutants and stuff in our universe, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know how
I get what you're saying.
I think I kind of get it, because you know how like in Loki, you see Loki and what is it, Endgame, they kind of show like this one stream, and then like if all these multiverses kind of like branch out. So I think it's maybe I'm wrong if I'm understanding you wrong, Mario, but I feel like you're trying to say that all these branched out multiverses are going to kind of like come back together again and be more.
Yeah, but narrow. Like yes and no. I mean, I think because there's infinite multiverses, right?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna compress them. Like they're gonna combine certain universes together because it's too strong. They can't compress them all. So we're gonna get those specific universes we have like in the comics and stuff.
That can make sense, because right now, just with the idea of there being infinite possibilities, it's almost a little too much.
Yeah.
So if you compress them, and it's like, there's still a crazy amount of possibilities, but there is still some sort of ultimate bubble that we're in.
Like they'll take continuity. They'll take like the universes that are most alike and smash them together to like kind of justify, but they'll still be multiverses. Mm-hmm. But I think that's how, the 5 closest multiverses to our universe get overlapped into one universe, and that's how they introduce mutants and new heroes and stuff.
Okay. Well, there you go. I guess for me, I have no idea how this movie's going to end.
Yeah.
One thing I do think, though, is I disagree.
Batman's going to show up. They did it in the video games, in the comics.
You're going stop talking about DC. No.
It's going to happen.
It kind of goes back to what I was talking about, possibly Wong dying, because I think by the end of this movie, Doctor Strange will be reestablished as the Sorcerer Supreme. But man, I have no idea where they're going to take this movie personally. I like Mario's idea of them compressing the multiverse up a bit. I wish I had some cool theory of how it's going to end. I just
Yeah, I'm drawing blanks too.
I honestly don't think it's going to end in some sort of like jaw-dropping way. I think it's going to be a pretty confined story with larger consequences. You know what I mean? Like by the end of the movie, you're going to walk out of the theater being like, not like, oh my God, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Is this, I mean, you'll have some of that, but I don't think it's basically what I'm saying. It's not going to end on a cliffhanger. The complete opposite. That's the opposite of what you said, Jose. It won't end on a cliffhanger. But there'll be teases, obviously, because they always tease for future things to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that we're going to get our first full-length Thor Love and Thunder trailer as one of the end credits in the movie. Because, like I said a little bit ago, the events that happen in this movie is going to lead into Love and Thunder, and that's why they've been holding back a bit on the trailers for that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost willing to bet you that if they do go with that like compression universe thing, one of the final scenes is just going to be like, I don't know, maybe at the Illuminati, a picture of the globe with like a bunch of little dots lighting up, you know, to signify, you know, mutants or new heroes popping up around the world. Some way to show that there's like tons of new people coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what do you guys think about the theory of, because in the comics, they've talked about how at one point, like Wanda's so powerful, she says no more mutants. And it basically takes away like 99.9% of mutants on Earth or something like that. There's still like, there's like 100 and something mutants left or something like that, which is kind of a weird thing. But what do you guys think of the theory that she had already done that at some point and she brings them back herself?
I'm not familiar with that comic, but I also don't think that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it like because I guess I'm more basing on like what we've seen so far in the movies, and I don't recall hinting towards that like in the past movies.
Part of that speculation comes a little bit from how, even, you know, how Mario talked about earlier, like Wanda had powers before the stone. And so there's a little bit of speculation like there was mutants at one point, but she made them go away for some reason, and people like it's kind of like the Spider-Man thing. It just kind of erased everybody's memories of mutants.
Yeah.
Well, if Reed Richards is a part of the Illuminati, because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Fantastic Four are considered mutants, right?
I would imagine. I mean, no, but didn't they get
they got their powers like from something tragic, right? Like something not
it's like a space cloud or something. I'm pretty sure it's canon that they're considered mutants,
even though they got their powers from space.
Yeah,
space.
Well, because it like activated the mutant gene in them, because that's where mutants come from. Is that gene's activated? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's what canon is. I could be wrong, but if I'm right and Reed Richards is introduced in the Illuminati, that would mean either mutants are confirmed or they're just retconning that they're just superheroes. There's no mutants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, do you think there's any possibility that it's just straight up mutants are living in a different universe? Yeah, when those universes kind of...
I think that's kind of...
That was kind of my idea, that like a universe gets, you know, overlaid on top of our universe, so all those mutants come to this world or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, like in the whole What If series, there's so many, I guess, different events that happen, and that's just like a little. I would say that's like a little taste of what's the possibilities are.
Is the What If series canon, Jose? Like, is the evil Doctor Strange that we see in the trailer the same evil Doctor Strange from What If?
I think so. I think I want to say I think so, because you see like some zombies in the trailers. You see that same dark Doctor Strange kind of looks like the one in the What If series. The trailer and the What If series, they kind of to me they kind of look alike, or they resemble.
I don't think the What If series is canon, but they're all based off the comics, so do
you think?
I mean, we know, or we're pretty sure Captain Carter's in this. She's in the latest trailer.
Is she?
Well, we don't know for sure, but we see.
I know. You see. Don't you see her shield in the poster?
Shield? Yeah.
Well, we see in the latest trailer, you see a girl like fighting somebody that's carrying her shield.
Okay.
So I think the What If series is not straight up in canon, but I think it's, to an extent, it is a little bit, like maybe a little fraction of it, but not to the full extent.
I think
that makes sense.
I think they're just based on the same story, but I don't think that it's actually canon.
Okay. I got one more question for you guys. Now this is kind of turned into a whole different thing other than just the top 5 show.
Yeah.
Now we're just speculating, but one more question. How big of a role do you think Professor X will have? Do you think he's going to have a confrontation with Wanda? Like, do you think he's going to be a player in the game at all? Or do you think he's going to have like a small Illuminati, like courtroom scene almost type thing, and that's all we're going to see him?
I think he's going to have a role just like Wong, like not too, like in the middle, not over the top, not a really high role, but not a minimal role either. He's like somewhere in the middle.
I don't think he'll be. I don't think he's going to be in the movie more than a couple minutes.
Okay. Do you think?
I think
so minor role.
Do you guys think that he has anything to do with helping to stop Wanda at all?
I don't think
brain power.
So. From what
he does have that brain power.
From what we've seen and I don't know. It's all speculation, but I think he's going to be more against Doctor Strange than against Wanda, since Doctor Strange is kind of the one who caused it all.
Okay.
Like he's just trying to right the universe by punishing the person that did it.
Do you think this movie is going to like almost start up like right after the events of No Way Home with Doctor Strange?
I think so. I think that's very probable.
How confused do you think he's going to be?
I actually want to say that it's going to start in a different universe.
It's going to start in a different universe?
I think so. I think it's going to play off as that Doctor Strange is our Doctor Strange, but it's not really. And then, everything starts splitting up or whatever, and then we see the real Doctor Strange.
By the end of this movie, do you think... Man... Do you think that there's going to be like, okay, now we just have 5 different Doctor Stranges that we could visit in future movies?
No, I think it's going to all compress into one.
So you think by the end of this movie, there's going to be one Doctor Strange?
I think I think there's still going to be 5 Doctors or whatever amount of Doctor Strange, but I think the main focus is just going to be on the current one. I don't think they're going to go really deep into the other ones. Like maybe sprinkle some mentions here and there, but I think the main focus will be this Doctor Strange.
Okay. I guess we should probably end this, right?
I think maybe, yeah.
Any last thoughts?
I'm telling you, Batman's going to show up, Martian's going to show up, and we're going to have a DC versus Marvel movie.
We're going to get Ezra Miller as a Quicksilver cameo.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Did Quicksilver have powers Did they show Quicksilver with powers before the stone at all? Or do we know at all?
For what? You kind of cut out a little bit.
Did they show Quicksilver with powers before the stone at all? Or did we only see Wanda's point of view with that?
I think we only... Well, Quicksilver's power was running fast, right? Like the Flash? He was already running fast.
Not like the Flash, but he ran fast, yes.
Okay.
I think they showed him with powers before the stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or either they showed him or they heavily implied it.
Do we see Magneto in this movie?
No.
I really doubt it.
Do we see any other X-Men? Because my was...
Deadpool.
No, because my number 4 was they won't introduce the X-Men. But do you guys think that we get anybody else other than Professor X?
Deadpool.
You really think that, or are you just saying that to mess around?
I'm just saying that to mess around. Well, but the probability of kind of messing around and kind of like almost
because I mean,
it could be a possibility because he's already breaking the fourth wall. So like for I don't know, it's gonna be weird him just walking in and like, hey, Deadpool, everybody.
Part of the reason why I mentioned Magneto, obviously, is because he's Wanda's dad. In another universe, he's Wanda's dad.
Yeah.
So could he play a part in this? Since we know Professor X is in it.
They might set it up for the next future installment.
He might be on an after credit scene or something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end with this. Any predictions for the end credit scenes?
End credit scenes. I think they're gonna.
Or do you think that's too hard to tell because we haven't seen the movie, so it's going to be something completely tied into the movie?
I think this is one of. I'm assuming there's going to be 2 ending credits, and I think one of them is going to be this kind of connecting to Love and Thunder Thor movie, and then the second one will probably. I'm just guessing out of thin air. Is like they're just gonna tie it up to something in one of the other future movies.
I'm gonna go
aside from Love and Thunder. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm tired. All right.
No, that was vague.
Vague, yeah. Okay, one for sure.
Marvel's gonna have an end credit scene that ties into a future movie. That's what you just said.
I'm tired.
Highly unlikely.
One of them for sure. I think is gonna tie it in with Love and Thunder.
All right. What about you, Mario?
I think I'm gonna go back to that. Like, you know what I said? There's gonna be a monitor of a world with, blips popping up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you one of them is gonna be Professor X in his, chamber where he can find all the mutants in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you it's gonna be something like that, where he's in some rudimentary chamber and he's able to sense like thousands of mutants now or something.
Okay. See, that's an end credit scene prediction, Jose.
Yeah, sorry. So I don't know. I'm tired.
So Professor X and mutants haven't. Okay. And I guess the only one I had was the very, very end. Like how they did with Spider-Man and they showed the Doctor Strange trailer at the very end of all the credits. I had the Thor and Love and Thunder trailer in there. The first full length trailer. And as far as an earlier end credit scene, I could see something like what Mario said, or I could see that being the Fantastic Four. I think it's either X-Men or Fantastic Four end credit, but it's probably going to be something having to do with the movie. Something, I don't know, Doctor Strange, I don't know, in tap dancing class or something. Like at the end of the Shang-Chi when they're like out doing karaoke is one of the end credit scenes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah. It could be just something fun, like a fun end credit scene that has nothing to do with anything.
Isn't this movie supposed to be dark?
I mean, Sam Raimi's doing it, so.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be dark.
You already bought your tickets?
Yeah, I got my tickets. I got my tickets way before you got your tickets.
Oh, that's true. I waited too long.
Mario, Jose messaged me earlier days like, I bought my tickets today.
I've been meaning to watch. Like I've been procrastinating, and I just bought them this morning. It was like, oh my! I got like really crappy seats. Well, not really crappy. I think the crappy ones are in the very front row, next to the screen. I think those are the crappy ones.
Those are crappiest seats. Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to end it there. This has been the first episode of Top 5. And
all right.
We went way off the rails with this episode. Way off the rails. If we do more of these, they'll be a lot more focused. That's, a lot more focus. Because this turned into basically a podcast.
All right.
But that's it. I'm going to just end it now. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, you guys.